Jayakani. I am working as an assistant professor of IT department at St. Joseph Institute of Technology. Now I am going to take a topic on deep learning. Today agenda is introduction, to deep learning, then perceptron, single layer neural network. First one, introduction to deep learning. Before starting deep learning, we should know about history of deep learning. So, I am going to discuss about AI versus machine learning versus deep learning versus data science. Before start the class, I need to give small introduction why we are learning deep learning, because as a students, everyone nowadays we are doing more project based on deep learning concept. Deep learning main focus is the predictive solution without human interaction. It will mimic as a human brain. So we are using deep learning concept. Compared with machine learning will work based on data only, but deep learning not like that. It will work based on data, and it will think like a human brain. It will think more like a human brain. How human will learn? Very simple. We just observe from that environment. Same way, deep learning also will work based on neural network concept. That deep learning will analyze and observe data from their various environment of web pages. Like know about deep learning, we should know history of deep learning. AI versus machine learning versus deep learning versus data science. So the whole universe is covered by AI. AI is nothing but artificial intelligence. This artificial intelligence mainly solve the problem of application without human interaction. Then next one is machine learning. This is subset of AI. Machine learning will work based on data. So more algorithms are available in that machine learning. For example, supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised. Supervised means it's nothing but it's based on labeled data. It's mainly used for forecasting process, for example temperature prediction, like that. Then next one is unsupervised. Unsupervised mainly work based on unlabeled data. This is work based on clustering concept. Then next one is semi-supervised. It is one of the recommendation system. For example, let me consider Netflix. If you search any one movie or any one particular thing, is it available, it will show. In case if it is not available, it will recommend related data. So that is also one of the recommendation system. Then next one is deep learning. Deep learning is subset of machine learning. So deep learning main aim is will do process without human interaction. This deep learning mainly work based on neural network. So after the introduction of deep learning, we will start neural network concept, that is a perceptron. This is a single layer neural network. In beginning, first neural network invented that is called perceptron. So we will discuss later. Then next one is data science. Data science is nothing but will cover the entire AI. For example, if you are data scientist means you should have to work in machine learning algorithm, you have to work deep learning algorithm. Then only you are considered you are one of the data scientists. Okay. Next, I am going to cover why deep learning is more important. Actually, researchers have not only started research process in recent years, they have started research 1958 onwards. We are, for example, let me consider before 2005. We are using social media like Orkut, Facebook, like that. These social medias mainly used for sharing their data, sharing that photos, like each text or data, any type of data we can store in our account, or we can share, or we can communicate with others. So nowadays people are most of the spending time in that social media, sharing their feelings. So day by day data is generated more efficient. So these data can't manage these data, we should handle carefully, then only we can predict any problem of particular application accurately. So in this 2005, for example, Orkut, Facebook, in later Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter. So more social medias are available nowadays. We are spending most of the time in this social media. So day by day data generation will be increased. So these data should be managed. That data should be managed by GPU. Nowadays NVIDIA company have generator GPU. This GPU will handle very efficiently this large amount of data. So more companies are based on work this GPU. Then 2013, this time they have next let me consider 2008. These times we have spent most of the time in that social media, so more data are generated. We need space to store this data. So that time BDA, big data analytics, is very famous at that time, because we need to store the data. So BDA is work one of the important part at the time. Then in later 2013, more companies have data. Companies have data. We should analyze this data, then afterwards we have to apply the data in that particular application. We need to find a solution also. So at that time we have found that deep learning concept. So at that time NVIDIA company have generate GPU, more GPUs or hardwares are available. The GPU cost also not costly because of more technology advancement. The cost also will be reduced. So we can easily purchase and apply in our application. We can find the solution also. These are about introduction of deep learning. Then next I am going to start perceptron. Perceptron is nothing but deep learning will work based on neural network. First neural network called perceptron. The neural network structure is nothing but it has some layers, input layer, hidden layer, output layer. Why we have this neural network kept this name, we should know. I will give one example. For example, if I took any one hot object, I kept in my hand, immediately I just remove from that place in my hand, because I will feel it's very hot like that. So this neuron will be get activated. This neuron will pass information to the next neuron. The next neuron will pass information. Then afterwards, my brain will activate. Immediately, I should take my hand from that place. Same way that a neural network will also work. So it has some neurons. Let me consider 3 neurons in that input layer. I just keep one neuron in the hidden layer, then one neuron in the output layer. Then each and every neuron has connector. This input layer get information from the input data sets. Hidden layer will get information from the input layer, then will do some process, then after find output and pass to the output layer. Let me consider x1, x2, x3. These are inputs. These inputs will pass to the input layer. Then here we'll do some pre-processing concept. For pre-processing, we can have more methodologies. NLP also one of the best solution of this pre-processing in that deep learning concept. For text type of data, if we are using in the data set, we can use NLP concept. Then after pre-processing, it will pass the information to the hidden layer of neuron. This neuron will do some process. Then some activation function also will be held here. I will explain what is activation function, what are the types are there. So I will explain later. Then afterwards, this neuron will find the solution, then pass to the next output layer. This is a basic structure of neural network, single layer neural network. This is a basic structure. I will explain with one example. For example, I have one data set. Student study us, playing us, sleeping us. Finally, the student will pass or not in the examination. This is my data set. For example, 7 hours, 2 hours, 8 hours. Obviously, he will pass. So here I am going to use binary classification. So pass means I just consider 1. Then next, another student. This is student 1 records. Then student 2 records. Study 2 hours. Play 8 hours. Sleep 9 hours. Most probably he will get fail in the examination. Then student 3. Study hours 8, playing hours 1 hour, sleeping hours 7 hours. He will also most probably get pass mark in the examination. So this is my data set. I should train my model with this data set. Then only this model will predict the solution accurately. So deep learning main concept is before start the application, we should develop the model. Then after developing model, we should generate data sets. We have these data sets, we can separate two way. One is for training, another one is for testing. So for example, I am going to take these first two students records for training, then third student record I am going to use for testing. Okay, so once if I develop the model, we should train the model based on these data sets. Okay, for example, first I am going to pass the information, study information, then playing information, then sleeping information of first student. These information will pass to the hidden layer. We'll do some process, then after it will predict the output, will pass through the output layer. Once if I train the first data set of first student, then next I need to train another student data set. For example, second student data set. Then after, now I have developed my model, I have trained my model. Now I need to check my model is working or not. How it's working. So we should know that output also. So then we can test this model. If it is predict 1 means my model is working perfectly. In case if it is predicted 0 means my model working is not properly. So again I want to do retrain the model. This is a basic process of neural network. In next further classes I will explain in detail how it's work. Okay. Then one more thing I forgot to tell, each and every neuron has connector. Here we need to assign some weights. I will tell why we are assigning weights. So for example, already I told one example, if I keep one hot object in my hand, immediately I will take from that place, because here some neurons will be affected, some neurons will not affected. Affected neurons pass information to the next. So some neurons little bit affected, that means very less weight. So weight means is nothing but each and every neuron how has affected. So that is a weight concept. So here each and every neuron will be activated. That activation function is first one is sigmoid, another activation is radio. So listen carefully. First, our input layer, input neuron get information from the input data set. These inputs will not directly pass to the model. So before passing, we have to do some pre-processing concept using NLP or somewhere, any algorithm. Then after pre-processing, this information will pass through this line. This line means is nothing but it will pass the signal from one neuron to another neuron. Here we should assign the weights also. For example, let me consider the input x1, x2, x3. Okay, then here this hidden layer neuron I will show little bit big size, then only you can see clearly. Here there are two processes will be held. One is calculating y. For example, summation wi xi, that is nothing but x our input, weight, assigning the weights. In between, input neuron and hidden neuron. Okay. So, x1 into w1 plus x2 into w2 plus x3 into w3. This is the meaning of summation wi and xi. Then afterwards, we need to add some bias. Why we are adding bias? It's a very simple one. For example, initial stage, we are assigning weight values. 0 means, let me consider x1 into 0, 0. x2 into 0, 0. x3 into 0, 0. The whole value also will be 0. So, we can't pass this 0 to that model. So, there we can add some constant, very small constant value or by very small value, that is called bias. Okay. So, after calculating this y, here we'll do some process that is called activation function of y. So, first we are passing input values through the input layer. Then afterwards we are assigning some weight values. Then after process we'll forward to that hidden layer. Then next, in this hidden layer, neuron has two processes. One is calculating y. It's nothing but that formula summation of wi and xi plus bias. Then after calculating y, we have to apply some activation function. So I have written here activation function of y. There are two important activation functions. 2-3 types are there. But mainly we are using in this deep learning sigmoid and ReLU activation function. I will explain you what is that. First one is sigmoid activation. Sigmoid activation has formula 1 by 1 plus e power minus y. Already y we have calculated, no? That y we need to apply here. This output will be like 0 or 1. So, for binary type of binary classification type of problem, we can use this sigmoid activation. So, this output will be looks like this is 0, 0.51. That means I have kept output is above 0.5 means it will be activated. So 1. Less than 0.5 means it will deactivated. So 0. Okay. Then next one is ReLU activation function. ReLU activation function for a regression type of problem, we can use ReLU is best one. So ReLU formula is max of 0, y. Already we have calculated that y, no? That one. For example, if our y is positive, means our output will be like max of positive. So output also positive. Okay. In case if our y value is negative, okay, y value is negative means our output max of 0, negative. So output also negative. So I will show in that graph. For example, here positive, here negative. So negative means most probably it will consider as 0 only. So negative means our output will be like this. Okay. Positive means our output will be like this. So for example, 1 means like 1. 0, 1, maximum value is 1. In case y value is 2 means max of 0, 2, maximum value is 2. So output also 2. So this is a ReLU activation function output. So overall our deep learning introduction, now I will conclude. Very simple one. Deep learning, one of the subset of machine learning concept. Deep learning will work based on human brain. So overall conclusion of deep learning will predict the solution in any type of application. Main focus is deep learning mimic human brain. Overall AI concept will find the solution of any application without human interaction. That is a concept. In this deep learning and machine learning have more algorithms. In further class we will discuss one by one. Thank you. Okay, today session conclusion, now I am going to explain. So deep learning is nothing but a subset of machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of AI. Main aim of AI is will do the process without human interaction. Machine learning based on many algorithms like supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised. Each and every methodology has some type of algorithm. So for prediction, classification, forecasting process, regression process, for recommendation, we can use this machine learning. Machine learning will work based on data. Next one is deep learning. Deep learning will find the solution same way of machine learning, but it's not only depends on data. It will work based on neural network concept. Neural network concept like our human brain. For example, if we are directly said means deep learning is nothing but will mimic our human brain. How human will learn from environment, just observe from that our environment. Same way, deep learning will not find out a solution directly from data set. It will learn from that data in everywhere of cloud. Then after analyzing, then only it will predict the solution. So comparatively, deep learning is more accurate. So nowadays, each and every companies are using deep learning concept in their application because of more accuracy. So already I told in previous, nowadays we are spending most of the time in that social media. So day by day data is generated very extreme level. So these data we should handle carefully. Then only we can predict that accuracy. So for data handling, we can use GPU. That GPU will help to find the solution very properly. Okay, then after deep learning work based on neural network. This neural network is a very basic structure. Already I explained in previous. It has some input layer, hidden layer, output layer. Input layer has some neurons, hidden layer has some neuron, output layer some neuron. This input layer get information from that input data set. That input data set inputs we can't apply in this model directly. It has some noise, some data are missing. So we should pre-process the data using the NLP concept. Then after pre-processing, these information will pass to the hidden layer neuron. This hidden layer will do some process based on that weights. Then after that neuron will be activated or deactivated. Some activation function we have to apply. Already I told there are two types of activation, sigmoid and ReLU. For binary classification problem, there we can use a sigmoid activation. For a regression problem, we can use a ReLU activation function. So it will help to find the solution accurately. We have some more activation functions out there. I will explain now today in today's session. I just explain introduction of deep learning, then basic structure of perceptron. That's it. Then next session I will explain in detail how the model will be trained in forward propagation and backward propagation, like that. So thank you.